Hello, 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 hello. I'm doing audio check. Audio check. 1, 2, 3. Hey, buddy, bud. My dog is listening to somebody outside, and I don't have a live video showing on my page. It says I'm live. Okay, I see it. Can you hear me? Yes. Good. All right, let's do this. All right, so let's just share the screen right away. Let's jump over to what's page? Gemini. Let's jump over to Gemini. So check it out. The googly goo. Googly goo. I'm subscribed to Google Play. Google One, which is Gemini Advanced. You got Gemini Advanced with one and more with Google One A1 premium plan. With our most compatible AI models, priority access to new features. Experience a 1 million token context window. 1 million token context. Go to Gemini Advanced. 2.4 Pro is here. It's most intelligent model ever. Try our best model for coding. Yeah, okay. There you go. You can see what else I've been talking about. Authoritarian regimes, IMF loans, Century Initiative in Canada, whatever else. I don't know. Anyways, what else can I do around here? Anything else? This is just chat. All right, so probably I need to get the API key. Okay, so do I get the API key from here? I can't provide you the API key. You need to identify the service. All right. Let's go back to Arrowhead. Oh boy. Where are my files? Okay, so I still got some files. I lost the chat. Where's my chat window? Where's the previous chats? Recent chats. Project files created. I don't know, what is it saying? It's saying you don't need the previous chats. Okay, so first thing I want to do is get the API keys. Get Gemini API keys. All right, so what the issue is I need to switch the account because I got my Google Gemini. It's my space between ideas account. And I don't got any API keys here. Now, is this like, all right, I'm gonna just put you on a different screen. So, I mean, like, I need my, what is it called? It's AI Studio Google AI Studio API keys, my Gemini API keys, my Gemini API keys for, what's it called? Fire something. Firebase Studio for Firebase Studio. So the first thing I noticed is create docs and code. And I first noticed that there's no add files. It's not asking whether you want to connect to the internet or not. Okay, this is Google AI Studio. What does it say? Sign in your Google account. Is it signed in properly? No. Then there's this, get API keys at the top. Okay, so here's a question. What's the difference between, okay, so here is Google AI Studio also. Everything looks the same, AI Studio Google. And then also this page also looks like Google AI Studio. What is this page? How did I get here originally? Remember last time? So I was here. So it's exactly the same thing. Now, do I have the Pro plan here? $1 million token window. Okay. Anyways, I'm not doing this one today. So I'm just gonna jump, I'm gonna click the get my API keys. I'm gonna create the API keys. And I'm gonna copy the API keys. I'm gonna go back in, I'm gonna replace the API keys. Then what, do I push enter? Reset settings, copy setting ID. Okay. Now what? All right, now I'm back on this page. So I added the API keys, but the whole Gemini thing disappeared. So that's weird. I'm just gonna refresh this page. All right, where's the chat box? What's this thing? Okay, here you go. We got her. All right, so what have we done so far? I'm just gonna go back and make sure that I'm using the microphone next to my face so that when I'm typing, you don't hear it as loudly. Sound. External microphone. I could turn it up a little bit. All right, so we're using the external microphone. Jump back into here. Based on the information, we haven't done anything together yet. This is our first interaction. Can you review what has been done previously in this project? Okay, so based on project setup, a React front-end application was created. Component development, custom components have been added. Front README. Would you like me to read the content of those files to understand features better? Yes. Now, okay, so the next step is to, okay, I'll read it. I've reviewed the content. Here's a summary of what's been done. Main application. The main app, setup, display, main menu. It imports main menu page. Does not currently import or use profile page component. Main menu. This component has been created. Display. Main menu. It includes component. Main menu. Profile page. Summary. Okay. Now, I'm going to change the strategy when I build this time. The first thing I'll do is plug in my computer. Now, what I did last time was I created the structure of the database. And then I put that structure of the database into Superbase. And then I showed the screens of what I wanted it to develop. So it had the screens, and it had the components and it had the database. And I just thought it would like realize, okay, well, this is the database and here's the screens. And then we just got to connect all that together. We ended up doing just so many crazy things, and I have no idea what was going on. So this time I'm going to change up the strategy a little bit. So what I'm going to do this time is I just want to create this section of the main menu. Now there was another issue which you actually can't see here because I have this instead of this. I'm going to just delete this, put in the new one for 5 seconds because actually I don't want it to be this one anymore. What's the problem? The problem here is, okay, so we have this thing called always open to an unpopulated menu and always open to where I left off. These are some aspects of the app of when you open the app, what are you going to see first? So imagine that you are on you just want to see the main menu when you open up the app. There's another situation where like maybe I closed the app and I was on this page. And then when I open the app again, I want to see this page. It just makes it a little more convenient. And then if you see this page, then what do you do? So this one's missing the button, the arrow to go back to the main menu. Actually, all of those are missing the. How about the new designs? All right, so the new designs are a little bit different. So if I remove this one and I put the new vision module in, it's basically the same, but you can see how I have this arrow to go back. Anyways, that's not important because we're not focusing on that. Now, another issue, so you see this double arrow, one's going up, one's going down. It means that the top can go to the bottom and the bottom can go back up to the top. What's the issue? The issue is that this is code in the database that is changing the structure of what's happening on the screen. Now, so what I'm going to do is I want to put that information back into the profile. So I want to leave information about the email address, password, and also some aspects of how to manage elements of what's visual in the app. I want to remove that from, like, I don't want to put that in the database. So you see on this page, we have two different databases. We have a projects database, which is a list of projects. And then we also have a module database, which is a list of modules. Now, this set of modules is the modules that you create. They're going to show up here in the history section. And whenever you go into the history, those modules, all of those items are going to correspond to one of these screens. And then the screen is going to have some information that you filled in. So there's that double arrow here. Then there's another double arrow. This shouldn't actually be here. There's another double arrow, which is actually right here. So once you finish the objectives, then you could fill in your scoreboard, and it's on the same page. So you can kind of read that. You can scroll down. You can add the task. You can scroll back up. But I think what I'm going to do is for the next version, well, we're not there yet. Let's just focus on what we can focus on right now. And that is, I want to create this screen. That's why I wanted to create this profile page, was because I want this button to work here. But before this button can work, I just want to focus on this button and then working with this projects section. So let's jump into here. All right, now this is what we were hoping that this Gemini could actually see an image. Let's go to recents. Yeah, here it is. All right. In this image, there are two buttons project and profile. There is a container with projects. When the plus project button is clicked, a project is added under the heading projects in the container. The container contains a list of projects. The database needs a table for projects. Clicking the plus project button creates a project, and the project is associated with the user number, the project ID, the name of the project, there should be another table that contains the order of the projects in the container. The data associated with the project and the order of the data in the container should be saved on separate tables. There is a button ... within the line of the project next to the project name. When the button is clicked, a user may rename, delete, what was the other one? Rename, delete, or archive a project. No, not archive. We're not going to do archive. We're just going to delete, rename, or delete a project. There's also a button to reorder the projects within the container. Clicking, touching, or clicking the double arrows on the project line will make the horizontal card have an animation to see that the card has been selected, and then the user can drag the item to reorder the item. After it's reordered, the table called app UI selections will save the position of the project. The app UI selections will also have other information about the UI elements of the app when people make decisions about certain about how certain elements are displayed. When a project is created, the default name is the date and time when the date and time when the project is created. The P doesn't do anything special at this time, but later when we use the same pattern here to create another page for creating modules that can be added to a project, the modules each have a letter associated with them, so this gives the user a quick view of what the type of item that is shown in the container. This container is only for projects the main menu is for creating projects, renaming projects, deleting projects, and changing the order of projects. There's also a profile button to navigate to the profile page. Yeah, so the thing is that I've been through this process so many times, as you can see earlier in my other videos, that I'm really clear about what this app does. And as you can see, like, look how much that was. That's crazy. So now I'm focusing on just one little step at a time because I can see how it's better if you just make it like one at a time. Based on your description, here's a breakdown. Front end, React, main page, JS, and CS, UI structure, add the project button, profile button, And then project item component, create a subcomponent to render individual projects in the list. This component display plea, project name button handles double arrow, state management, use React state. Order, even event handling, implement, on click, navigate the profile page, on click button, rename, delete option likely, using a drop down or modal, rename functionality calling, drag and drop, React Beautiful, or similar, handle the reordering animation and logic, update the state and call backend to reorder the changes, API integration, write functions to communicate with the backend API, endpoint fetching, creating, renaming, deleting, reordering, project styling to match the visual layout. Backend requires a backend framework and database not yet present. Setup, database setup, choose a setup a database, Firestore, progress, mogul. What's Firestore? Is it the same as Firebase? Schema definition, create the projects table. Okay, projects table, user ID, project name, and an app UI selections table, user ID, UI element ID settings, which could include an ordering list of project IDs for the main menu, API endpoint, create API endpoints using Node.js, Express, Python to handle this stuff. Navigation, install React router. Next step, since there's no backend yet, we should start by building the front end structure and navigation. Install this, set up basic routing. So like me to proceed with installing, setting up. Yes, okay. Now, run terminal. Now the question I have right away is like I'm moving away from ChatGPT basically, because before I'm paying $20 for ChatGPT and I'm paying $20 for Cursor. So if I'm going to be paying $20, then in this case I get both. That's interesting. So Gemini's on this page and app.js is over here. And actually I want to move that over here. I've installed this and did this. Next I will modify this to add this. Okay. What's this thing? Enable preview editors. Show open editors. What's that thing? Show code actions. Oh, right. Next is, I've updated this. Would you like me to create some basic style to match? Yes. All right. So now the question is like, this is Gemini 2.5, right? So there's no point in me like copying and pasting this stuff into Gemini in the other browser. Firebase. This provides a visual structure. Yes. Yeah, so there's no point in like copying and pasting this. Like, would I copy and paste everything? All right, so this is the first difference between, I can see it's a big difference between Cursor and Google. And that is, well, obviously the first one is like, I can't like just let it do its thing. So I can't actually, like, I have to okay every single change. That's the first difference. The second one is in Cursor, after I change it to this thing where it will just like do all the things by itself without me having to like this, update the file and like okay every single step. There's also a thing where you can copy all of the stuff that it did. So you take everything that it did, you can copy it, then you put it in your ChatGPT, and then you can ask it like, "What do you? This is the work that was done, and then what do you think is the next step?" And then it will tell you what it thinks is going to be the next step. Then I take that and I bring it back over here, and I paste it in here. I created this, I did this, I did this, I did this. This makes the code more organized and prepares you for adding more complex features like the options menu, drag and drop reordering. Next, could implement the project, add project functionality, updating the local state for now, and start integrating the drag and drop. Okay. So continue using the best logical step forward after all the work has been completed. Then we can discuss what to do next. I'm just going to double click this and copy it. Okay, so it's starting. Start your engines. All right, so I've just removed my ChatGPT element. So I'm not actually copying this huge chunk of information that's, whatever happened, and then pasting it back into ChatGPT, asking ChatGPT, what do you think needs to happen? And then taking that and then bringing it back into Cursor and then saying, Cursor, this is what my project manager thinks. And do you agree with the project manager? And then they will say, well, this is what I think. And then, so it was like, remember, it was called dueling pianos. They were going back and forth trying to decide what to do. Now I can't do that here. You've exceeded your current quota. Please check your plan and billing details. What the dickens? Well, that's an issue. And that's another issue. Well, we got two big issues. Okay. API plan billing. You've created a new project. You don't have one. Free of charge. Pay as you go per 1 million tokens in USD. Rate limits. Okay, price for text and image and for video, for audio. Price output. Hmm. All right, so simple, right? I'm just I need I need more. I need more credits. Need more credits. All right, so this is obviously a way better situation when it comes to what do they call it? Cursor, because Cursor you pay $20 and it gives you 500 fast. Okay, hitting your quota limit or trying to work definitely frustrating, especially when the help link doesn't work out. Breakdown. First incorrect documentation here. Correct limits. Rate limits. How rate limits work. Measured per way, per day, tokens per minute. Your usage evaluated against each limit exceeding any of them will trigger them. For example, if your RPM limit is 20, making 21 requests, okay. Rate limits are applied per project, not per API key. Billing account, eligible countries, billing account linked to the project. Total spend, $250 at least 30 days since success, and at least 30 days since successful payment total. When you request an upgrade or automated abuse protection system performs additional checks while me. Okay. RPD. 5. RPM RPD. Free tier. Tier 1. So tier 2 is what? Tier 2 is the paying $250. So I'm in tier 1. Gordon, are you a sad dog? Is that what you are? Okay, what's your email? Please use your personal email when personal Gmail address may result in denied request. I'm creating a project management app and using the API for Firebase Studio. Where does it say my tier? View usage data. $27 requests. Start your free trial with $300 in credit. Don't worry, you won't be charged if you run out of credits. Yeah, so it's a little bit confusing because I guess I'm here. What is your Google Cloud project number? Okay. It's here. All right. Now, looking at this situation, I get paid because it says here, it says I'm free of charge. So my rate limit is 15 RPMs. This is talking about the API. All right, so our other option is, what we could do is we could use the built-in model. Okay, that's good approach since we have the basic structure, styling in place, local steps, ability, drag and drop this, install, choose library, testing, reordering, proceed. Okay. All right, so yeah, I was using the API, and then it was like, no, sorry, we're not going to be able to help you out with that API. So then I requested something with like improving the amount of RPMs, RMPs, R something P requests I can make. So then now the question is like, why did I just pay for Gemini? Oops. All right, so what I did was back here. I don't know where it was now. Yes. It was somewhere around here. Here. All right, so remember there was that red text here. So all I did was I just clicked this one and I changed it from Gemini 2.5. I went to use built-in model. It says, okay, here we go. And then it just started working again. All right. Okay. Yeah, so now the question is like, why am I paying for Gemini if I can use the built-in model for free? Retries failed. So this is the next question we have is like, okay. Give it a thumbs down. all of those things. So what am I supposed to do now? It just died. The whole situation died. So I changed to Firebase Studio because I thought something cool was going to happen. Plug in my API key because I thought something cool was going to happen. I pay for, Gemini. Luckily, they give you a free month, so I didn't actually pay for anything yet. Expecting something cool to happen, and nothing cool has happened. Literally nothing cool has happened. And we're not even close to, like, how do we connect this to some backend database? So where do we go from here? That's it? All right, well, it's almost time to go jog, so that's another video. Welcome to Fail Day 1.